Hi, and welcome to the D2L site for this class. I just want to go over a few things that I think might be unique to this course, or maybe you haven't done before, so that way we know how you're going to progress through the next several weeks. The first thing I want to start with is the homepage, and you'll see under the news items a few important things that I turned your attention to in the email that I sent this week. The first is the class small groups. Now, we have a fairly large class, and I want to make sure that everybody gets to have a really in-depth and interesting discussion where they get to share their voices. So what I've done is I've divided you up into groups according to various criteria. And I'm basically going to have you do a lot of the class discussion in those groups. And you're also going to be doing an Edmodo project together, which is explained further on the module where that happens. So make sure you check out what group you're in. The other thing that is on this part of the page that's interesting are the new OSU policies. There are several new policies, including an important one, or an important difference rather, in academic integrity. And this is all listed in the summer 2015 official OSU syllabus. So please make sure to check that out. Then we're going to move into content. We're going to start in the overview section where the syllabus is posted, as you'll see. And then you'll go into the modules, and the class is divided into 9 modules. And the important thing to notice about them is that they each have dates associated with them. Now, there are 2 exceptions to what I'm about to say. One is that there are 2 classes that we're going to have in person, one on the 20th and one on the 27th, both from 4:30 to 8:30 p.m. in Tulsa. And in those 2 modules, what you'll see are the readings that I want you to do for those modules, but there won't be any activities because we'll be doing those in person. But otherwise, what you have is the topic of the module and the dates of when the module basically takes place. So I want you to turn in everything for that module by the end, meaning the end meaning 11:30 p.m. on the night of the last day of the module. So for example, the first module is the 18th and 19th. And so by Tuesday, the 19th at 11:30 p.m., you should have everything done for this module. Now, the important thing to note about these is, especially with group discussion, there can't be late work. I will accept late work with the penalty that's described in the syllabus for some of the assignments. But with the group discussion and any of the discussion boards, they close down at 11:30 on that night because adding to a discussion that everybody else has already left doesn't really help the matter. So you have to be able to do that or you won't get that participation grade. So what you'll do is you'll go into the module, and you'll see a bunch of different files, which I'm going to explain what I've done here. The first is I've given some instruction, okay, for some of the various things that you have to do. And then I've given you, if you scroll down a little, I've given you a checklist. And I've done this, I think, for every single module except for the in-person ones. And these checklists show what all of the quote-unquote deliverables are, so what you have to turn in, and also which group discussions you have to participate in, and also what the readings are. So you'll see that you have a PowerPoint from me, that's the Introduction to Media Literacy, 2 articles. There's also actually, this will be in the next module, I'm sorry. There's also reading in your book that will take place starting in the next module. You'll see an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and this is on Amazon. I mentioned in the syllabus that you'll need to buy some videos. They're like $2 or $3 a piece on Amazon in order to watch. There's also the school film playlist, which I've started to add clips of school films, and I want you to contribute one of them. So you're going to email me a link to a school film clip. And this is all described in the instructions. Also, you have to do an introductory PowerPoint, which there are instructions for in this forum. And when you're done with the introductory PowerPoint, and there are also instructions, I believe, above. When you are done with the introductory PowerPoint, you upload it to this large group discussion. And then finally, you'll go to your small group discussion. And what you'll do is you'll see only your group available. I've closed these out to other members of the class. So you'll see your group available, and you'll click that and you'll respond to the discussion there. I want you to work on discussions throughout the entire module. So you should start early on Monday and go through Tuesday night to make sure you're part of the discussion. You'll see the next module is an in-person class. So there's actually an attachment to an entire book here, but you're only going to read chapters 1 and 2 to prepare for class, plus the introduction chapters 1 and 2 in your media literacy reader. Then you're going to go on to media and race representation. This is another one where you have a project that you have to do. So, and it is using Video Ant. You have pretty thorough instructions in this Word document right here of how to use Video Ant. And again, the project will be due at the end of the module. So that's the 22nd at midnight. So if you go into this instruction sheet, which is loading, you'll see it's due at 5:22 at 11:30 p.m. And it gives you all of the requirements for it. And when you are done with your Video Ant project, you post it here again in this large group discussion. You're also going to watch a movie, To Serve with Love. Again, this is on Amazon, and you're going to participate in 2 group discussions, which you will see only your groups when you log in. Moving on, you are going to work with a website called Edmodo, and you go here to log on to the group, and you enter this group code. Now I need you to do this as soon as possible, so that way I can assign you to your small group and make sure that you get the chapter that you're supposed to read. And then you're also going to read an excerpt from Gladstone and watch an episode of The West Wing. And again, you have group discussion. Now, there are other ways that you're going to turn in projects besides going on discussion boards and posting them there. One, the Edmodo you do within that site, and I'll be checking it there. In youth and media, you're going, or actually, I apologize. The teaching media literacy project that you will start in this module but continue on in media literacy across the content area, you will actually contribute to the Dropbox. So if you go into Dropbox and you click on what you're turning in, so either the media creation project or your final project, you can upload your file there. There are 2 exceptions to what I said about everything being due at the end of the module. One is the final project, and that is due the Sunday night after the final class. The other one is the media creation project, which is due a couple of days after the module is over. So be sure to pay attention to due dates on instruction sheets. And the last thing I want to show you is that I'm going to be holding virtual office hours through D2L chat. So if you go to the What is Media Literacy module, and you click on office hours, you will see that I will sign in on Mondays and Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So if you click on this, you'll see this regular kind of old school chat window open, and you'll see that I'm signed in. And you can join to ask me any questions or give me feedback or any comments or concerns that you have, or if you want to run any ideas by me, I'm happy to do that. So again, that's Mondays and Thursdays for the 3 weeks that we have class from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'm also going to be very available on email. I think it's very important that I stay close in touch with you guys while you're working through this class, since it's only online and we don't get very much, or it's mostly online and we don't get much face-to-face time. So if you email me during the day, I will usually respond within a couple of hours. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me, and I will try to respond as soon as possible.